The church burned until there was nothing but ashes. By morning, the road was cleared. By afternoon, the report was complete. The event was recorded, localized, contained. No further escalation expected. In the files, it was labeled, the Haven Incident. The valley was sealed, the tunnels were filled, the names were archived. In the city, Neuralink implementation accelerated quietly. Preservation sped up, integration pushed higher. Participation rose, resistance thinned. Thomas Hale was declared deceased, cause acute systemic failure, intervention attempted. Outcome unrecoverable. He belonged to them, kept on ice, fitted with the link, refurbished to serve the machine. 7 years passed, markets stabilized, districts reorganized, the skyline sharpened, and at the center, the pyramid. When Meridian was ready, it thawed him. Rain hit his face, cold, heavy. Tom inhaled and coughed. Water ran into his ears, then down his collar and under his shirt. The sky above him was a flat sheet of moving gray. He rolled onto his side. Not pavement, composite decking, dark beneath the rain, faint heat pulsing up through it like the roof was alive. He didn't know how he'd gotten here, only that a door had been open, and he'd kept walking up. He pushed up and felt the world tilt. He steadied himself on one palm and looked around. A rooftop, wide enough to mistake for ground. White helipad rings cut into the surface. Perimeter lights sunk flush into the deck, glowing steady through the storm. Beyond the edge, the city. Glass and black towers rising in ordered blocks. No clutter, no gaps, precisely placed. And at the center, a pyramid. Seamless, black, splitting through heavy rain. Tom stared too long. His stomach flipped. He lurched toward the edge, like stepping closer might make it make sense. It didn't. He looked down. At this height, the world lost detail. Streets turned to grid, cars to beads of light, everything below reduced to movement. His body revolted. He doubled over. A gagging reflex like his body rejected the moment. His eyes watered. He wiped his face with the back of his hand. Then he held still until the tilt passed. For a second, something rose in him warm, physical, a small weight leaning into his shoulder. Small fingers locked in his hand, a voice saying his name like it was safe. A face, Lily. The image arrived so fast it felt like a reflex.
Lily.
The name came out clean. He closed his eyes and tried to hold the picture. Hair, cheeks, the exact curve of her smile, and the image snapped out, not fading, not drifting. Gone. As if someone had pinched the thought between two fingers and removed it. He tried again, harder, like force could hook it back. Another face, older, tired eyes, kitchen light, a hand on his wrist. Elena.
Elena.
For half a heartbeat the memory held. Then it folded shut. The space in his mind went flat and white. Under a canopy on the far side of the roof, medical beds sat in strict rows. Figures lay beneath thermal blankets, faces angled away from the rain. Each bed held a faint square of light. A service unit moved between them smoothly. No breath, no pause. It tightened a restraint, bare metal wrist, precise and steady. Tom stepped forward. A tone overhead, soft, administrative. He crossed a line, the tone repeated, lower. A nurse stood near the canopy, back straight, hands steady over a supply cart. She turned when he came close enough. Her lower jaw was gone, not damaged, removed, like the world had been edited. A smooth contour where bone should have been. A clear collar wrapped her throat. A thin port ran from beneath her ear into the collar housing. Her eyes were calm, focused.
Where am I?
She didn't answer. She couldn't. She looked at Tom like she was saying something. Behind him, the roof access door unsealed with a soft pressure release. Footsteps, measured, unhurried. Two staff in sealed outerwear stepped out into the rain.
Patient outside authorized area.
They reached him gently but without hesitation.
I need to.
You're disoriented.
The nurse had already turned away. Her hands moved with practiced economy. She did not look back. Tom tried to pull his arm free. The staff did not tighten their grip. They simply redirected him.
I have to call. I have to.
He couldn't finish it. He couldn't remember what call was supposed to reach.
Easy, you're just waking up. Link's not fully online yet.
A soft hiss near his face. He flinched, inhaled. Something sweet slid into his lungs. Not forceful, just enough. The panic in his chest rounded at the edges. The names were still there, barely. Lily, Elena, but they no longer connected to anything. No faces, no voices, just labels with the meaning cut out. His knees gave. The last thing he saw before the world dimmed, the nurse under the canopy, blurred by the rain. The green light at her throat pulsing, patiently. Tom woke to stillness. Dry air, even light. Ventilation whispering at a steady, measured rhythm. He waited for recognition to arrive. Nothing did. He sat up. The room was clean without feeling empty. Furniture placed with intention. No clutter. No photographs. Nothing that suggested a past had ever existed here. His hand drifted to his left ring finger. A faint indentation circled the skin, old and worn. He turned his hand under the light. Then he stood. A faint pull tugged at the base of his skull. His fingers found the seam automatically. Smooth, integrated. A word surfaced without effort. Neural link. Part of him now. A flicker crossed the edge of his vision. Gone. He looked toward where it had been. It returned. A translucent layer settled over the room. User interface active. He lifted his hand and traced a short line in the air. The line held. He drew another. And then a thought surfaced. Search. The interface brightened immediately. A cursor waited. He hesitated only a moment, then entered his own name. Thomas Hale. The result opened. Status, archived. Archive date, October 19, 2030. Reinstatement, October 4, 2037. Cause, acute illness. Intervention attempted. Outcome, unrecoverable. No attachments, no explanation, no emotion, only a flat calm. The file closed. A notification replaced it. Orientation pending. Calibration recommended. Tom turned away. The kitchenette illuminated as he approached. Nutrition available after calibration. His fingers brushed the seam at his skull again. The apartment wall shifted open, revealing the skyline. Precise, distant. The pyramid anchored the horizon, black and immovable. He watched it. The overlay updated. A message surfaced. The video opened before he consciously selected it. The nurse from the rooftop appeared, recorded earlier. Same posture, same collar. Lower jaw removed with surgical precision. A green light pulsed at her throat. A synthetic voice spoke for her in his inbox.
Thomas, you are disoriented. Fresh thaw. The link is not synchronized yet. Staff are en route. You will be escorted.
The message ended. No options appeared, only a new directive. Calibration required. Nutrition locked. The chair waited in the center of the room. Low. A cable lay along one arm. He walked to it. Sat. The cable lifted automatically. Click. Cold slid behind his eyes. Not pain. Discomfort was reduced before it could fully exist. A message appeared in his vision. Calibration in progress. Please remain still. His thoughts did not disappear. They leveled. The cable withdrew from the back of his head. Then the message changed. Calibration complete. Nutrition unlocked. A wall panel opened. A tray extended. On it, a matte green block. Tom picked it up. It yielded slightly. He bit down. Salty, fatty, chewy steak. Perfectly cooked. He looked at it again. Still green, still synthetic. He swallowed. The flavor faded at the exact moment satisfaction arrived. No sooner, no later. Like part of him had marked the experience complete. The interface dimmed to minimal. The apartment returned to stillness. The ring mark remained faint, and whatever had once belonged there did not return. The next instruction arrived just after breakfast. An escort collected him within minutes and delivered him to the financial and biotech district. Glass towers gave way to something darker. The pyramid did not reflect the skyline. It absorbed it. Black granite veined faintly with gold. The geometry was exact. At its face, the state seal was carved directly into the stone. Not mounted, integrated. Authority fused to architecture. The doors opened before he reached them. Inside, the air changed. Cooler, filtered, managed. The corridor sloped downward. Dark walls ran unbroken on either side. No branding, no display. Halfway down, the stone gave way to glass. Vessels lined the chamber beyond. Tall stabilization pods, pale light rising from beneath each one. Bodies suspended inside, infants, adolescents, adults. Ports at the base of the skull, lines feeding upward into a ceiling grid. No restraints, no struggle, no visible distress, just containment. Tom slowed. A pod near him held a boy, 8, maybe 9, eyes closed, breathing assisted through a collar at the throat. Alive, stored. The corridor did not pause for him. At the end, doors opened into a circular chamber. A black stone table sat beneath recessed light. Behind it, the state seal again. 3 counselors were already seated. They did not rise. One didn't speak. He only watched Tom.
Thomas Hale. Your passing was unfortunate. Acute illness, systemic failure. Your research was pivotal to stable neural link integration.
You made it scalable, faster response, quieter minds, higher compliance.
You're using my architecture.
We're deploying it. The system is stable.
He gestured lightly toward the glass corridor.
Stability is only the floor, not completion.
Tom watched a vessel cycle fluid behind them, steady, indifferent.
Do you know what separates us from our Creator? Our Creator tolerates error, waste, chance. It calls that balance. We call it unfinished work.
The non-integrated demonstrates something important. Resistance isn't choice. It's error insisting it's correct.
Left alone, it spreads.
Stability doesn't survive partial compliance.
Tom's eyes moved again to the pods, the hum, the sealed calm.
What about the people who resist?
That will be resolved. It's already underway. Mandates, compliance actions, removal of exemptions.
Compliance through coercion is trending upward. Short-term discomfort prevents long-term suffering.
Resistance is a temporary condition.
The words hung. Administrative. Final.
Nature began the process. It lacked the discipline to finish it.
Define the rollout scope.
Test districts. Small at first, then larger. Not on paper. Not in a lab. Real people. Already integrated. What you change will reach them immediately. You'll be allowed to tune the system on them. In return, human ingenuity and expression tune the link. We will be watching. We will approve what stays. We will undo what doesn't.
Power. Real power. Still supervised.
Full access.
You'll have it, within limits.
He glanced once at the seal, then back to Tom.
We are not replacing humanity, Thomas Hale. We are perfecting it.
Tom looked back to the vessels.
I'll finish it.
No emotion, just alignment. The council did not smile. One placed a hand on the table. The state seal illuminated faintly.
Welcome back, Thomas Hale.
The vessels remained still. The doors opened behind him. Outside, the gold veins in the granite caught the light, as if something enormous had shifted beneath it. Access was granted. Work began the same day. By noon, he was already in transit. The train divided itself without walls. In the forward half, People wore tailored suits and held perfectly still, fingers moving in small, precise motions in the air. Outside the window, tiled walls and maintenance lights slid past, public notices repeating at regular intervals. Exit authorization required. City perimeter controlled. Neural link required beyond this point. In the forward section, 2 passengers stood facing one another near the door. They mirrored each other without trying.
Your productivity ticked up.
Yes, emotional variance also declined.
Good.
Yes, all indicators remain stable.
They held eye contact a moment longer. Waiting. Nothing followed. Both nodded at the same time. They turned away and resumed stillness. The forward section returned to its quiet precision. Rear half. Work uniforms, oil-stained cuffs, hands that never lifted from their laps. Tom stood at the seam. A man in the rear section stared at him. Recognition came slowly.
Tom?
Tom turned. The man stepped forward but stopped short of the invisible boundary.
Facilities? West Campus?
Tom searched his face. Nothing loaded.
You don't remember?
Not bitter. Just factual.
I didn't sign.
He tapped the back of his neck. No port, just skin.
Donation form. I said no. Guess that put me back here. Tom, you don't remember me? Did they wipe you?
Tom didn't answer. His eyes stayed on the man's face, present, focused, and empty. The forward section remained perfectly still. No one looked over. The train slowed. Behind the ex-coworker, an older passenger stood too quickly and fell hard into the aisle. The sound cut through the car. No one moved. Tom didn't step forward. He didn't reach down. His eyes flicked once to the space where the man lay, more reflex than concern. A faint shimmer touched the edge of his vision. A small icon, waiting. Tom lifted 2 fingers barely, a short, precise motion in the air. The shimmer accepted it. No alarm, no announcement. Just a soft confirmation tone that only he seemed to hear. The train doors opened at the next stop. 2 attendants entered. 1 human. 1 municipal unit. White chassis, soft indicator lights glowing calm blue. It lifted the man with precise, weightless efficiency.
Mobility assistance logged.
They escorted him toward the exit. The man's shoes dragged once against the floor.
I can still work. Please. My family's on my file.
A dented lunch tin slipped from his hand and rolled once before settling. Then the doors closed behind them. The train resumed. Tom remained at the seam between the integrated and the non-integrated. The doors opened. Tom exited. The train moved on. The lab was warm. Rows of stabilization vessels stood in quiet alignment, clear columns filled with pale fluid. Inside them, bodies, infants, adolescents, adults, ports at the base of the skull, cables disappearing into the ceiling. Status lights blinked in sequence. No restraints, no movement. Breathing came through throat collars, kept in step. A soft hiss, a release. Tom walked the aisle with a tablet in his hand. Vitals streamed beside each column. Pulse, neural activity, respiration, mostly green, a few amber, 1 red. Halfway down the row, a child in one of the vessels twitched, subtle at first. Fingers flexed. Eyes fluttered beneath closed lids. The collar pulsed twice, quick, urgent.
He's waking prematurely.
The child's eyes opened. Fluid rippled as the body shifted. Confusion first, then fear. Small hands pressed to the glass. A dull thud, breathing stuttered. The child's mouth opened as if to scream, and fluid filled it.
Panic response.
The vessel's base unlocked with a soft mechanical click. The fluid level dropped. The column disengaged from its slot and lifted onto an overhead rail. The child's hands slid slowly down the inside of the glass as it moved, eyes wide. Tracking. No one rushed. No one raised their voice. The vessel disappeared through a secondary door. It sealed without emphasis. The empty slot remained for 3 seconds. Then a new vessel descended into place. A ceiling rail shifted, an articulated arm descended, seating the tubing with delicate certainty. It paused only long enough to confirm the seal, then retracted. Smaller body, eyes closed, vitals stable. The system recalibrated, stability restored. At the far end of the row, a privacy curtain shifted, an intake bay. A prep chair half extended, straps open, collar waiting. An adult subject sat in it, barefoot, wrist tagged, awake. Their eyes moved from vessel to vessel. Realization set in, slow and terrified.
Wait, stop!
The technician didn't turn around.
Intake subject awake.
The subject's gaze found Tom, like he was the highest authority in the room.
I didn't volunteer. They said it was a screening.
Their pulse climbed, amber flickering beside the vitals.
Please, my family, don't do this to them too.
Tom's eyes stayed on the tablet, numbers updated, agitation rising. A warning icon flashed beside the subject's profile. Link status, active, emotional dampening, insufficient. Beneath the subject's hairline, a faint seam at the base of the skull flickered amber. The subject followed Tom's gaze, their hand lifted weakly toward their neck.
What is that?
Their fingers brushed the port. They froze.
No, that wasn't there.
Breathing accelerated. Heart rate climbed. Amber shifted toward red.
Distress spiking.
You already did it. It's in me already.
Acute distress elevates mortality risk.
The technician made a small adjustment. The collar beeped once, low. Emotional suppression was increased. The subject inhaled, then it broke mid-breath. His muscles slackened, shoulders lowered. The fear drained from their expression faster than understanding could keep up. Vitals slid back to green. Stability correction applied.
I was saying something.
The thought failed to return. A privacy curtain closed automatically. Behind it, rails engaged. The chair glided into the stabilization intake. Silence resumed its original shape. Tom looked down the row of chambers. His thumb moved. A setting tightened.
Increased suppression, 6%.
More suppression blunts emotion. It also weakens recall. You'll get more stability, but lose the person.
It reduces suffering. Proceed.
He watched the next vessel lock into position, breathing steady. No voluntary movement. Tom opened the most recent note. Lower mandible, removed due to infection. A panel updated beneath the green bars. Status, resolved. He did not react.
If prefrontal reduction begins earlier, failure rate should drop another 3%.
At cost of empathy and independent thought.
Tom looked down the aisle. Collars flickered in perfect rhythm.
That's acceptable.
He marked the update for pilot deployment. The vessels hummed, fluid circulated. Somewhere beyond the secondary door, metal sealed shut. Tom's tablet refreshed. All systems, nominal. The tablet dimmed. Later, just after work, Tom walked to the park. Central Park sat inside the financial district. Stone gave way to grass without transition. Paths curved precisely. No shortcuts, no breaks in the geometry. Benches faced nothing in particular. The skyline framed everything. Tom walked without destination. No vendors, no litter, no uneven pavement. At the far end of the lawn, two men stood opposite one another. They moved quickly. Sharp pivots, sudden bursts, arms lifting, rotating. Basketball footwork. No ball. Each motion completed cleanly in the air, tracked by something invisible. They reacted to passes that weren't there. One jumped, released an imaginary shot. He smiled when it landed. There was no hoop. On another stretch of grass, a woman lunged sideways, racket grip firm. She followed a trajectory only she could see. Forehand, backhand, serve. Beyond her, people sat on picnic blankets, hands hovering above nothing, fingers striking invisible keys. Pausing, deleting, rewriting. No screens, no devices. The wind moved through trees that did not shed leaves. Sprinklers pulsed in exact arcs. The grass remained uniform. Along the path, a low-maintenance unit moved through the lawn in silence, trimming each blade to identical height. Birds hopped near its wheels and didn't flinch when it passed. The park was not crowded, it was curated. Everyone here moved with quiet precision. No shouting, no collisions, no wasted gestures. A child ran past him, then stopped abruptly mid-stride, as if corrected. She looked upward for half a second, adjusted her direction. Continued. Tom looked toward the surrounding towers. Not skyline. Boundary. A reminder of who this city served. The park was bordered on all sides by wealth. No transit noise reached here. No maintenance trucks. No raised voices. He turned slowly, searching for something out of place. Everything fit. A sign at the park entrance displayed a single message: neural link required. No explanation, no barrier, just designation. Tom stood in the center of it, watched a man pull a thick rubber resistance band in slow, perfect reps. The band was clipped to a stainless ring set into the concrete. Public hardware, polished from use. Nearby, another closed his eyes, smiling faintly at something only he could hear. Tom remained there longer than necessary. No one spoke to him. No one needed to. Above the park, the pyramid cut into the sky, silent and immovable. Days later, the charts went calm. Pilot cities fell into order. Fewer assaults, fewer workplace incidents, fewer disturbance calls, cut off before they escalated. People still felt things, just not loud enough to act on them. Tom stood before the data wall. No celebration, no applause, just lines behaving.
Compliance is improving.
Tom zoomed into one district. A spike started to form and vanished before it could become a shout, a shove, a thrown fist.
Move the emotional suppression window earlier by 2 seconds.
That'll flatten them.
That's not the metric.
He made the change. The map brightened a shade, quieter streets. Somewhere underneath the improvement, something human got thinner. A new panel slid into view. Administrative. Council review packet. Pilot summary. Requires architect sign-off. Targets met across pilot zones. Timing validated for citywide deployment. Emotional drift within acceptable limits. Phase 2 authorized.
They want your sign-off.
Tom's eyes stayed on the green districts. He lifted 2 fingers and checked the boxes. The last item locked into place. A confirmation tone sounded. One step closer to sealing the city's fate. The panel folded away. The map pulled back. New districts appeared at the edges, gray, then outlined in amber. Phase 2 expansions, ready for council authorization.
Council authorization pending.
They'll authorize it.
Tom turned away. Tom took a street he didn't remember choosing. The district shifted. Less glass, more brick. Paint flaking from porch rails. Grass growing uneven through sidewalk cracks. One house slowed him. 2 stories, faded siding. A porch light hanging slightly off-center. A car in the driveway. Curtains drawn in the window. Occupied. He stood on the sidewalk without knowing why. The front yard felt measured, familiar in its dimensions. The world shifted, and then, cold grass against his shoulders. A fence cutting the sky into a neat edge.
Which one is that?
That's Orion. 3 stars in a row. See them?
Yeah.
When you're little, the stars feel close, like they're waiting. When you get older, you realize it was never about reaching them. It was about looking up long enough to feel small.
I like feeling small.
The porch light in front of him clicked on. The memory cut. Hard. The yard was empty. No one outside. No stars visible through the city haze. He turned and continued walking. The echo did not return. The city changed after dark. Not louder. Quieter. Traffic moved without urgency. Lights sparkled on wet streets. Tom walked without direction. Rain pooled on the pavement, reflecting the skyline. A brief distortion passed through his vision. An arrow appeared at the edge of sight, not stable, not the calm guidance that was always there. This one jittered, correcting, pointing down a service street he didn't remember taking. Tom stopped. The arrow stayed. He followed. Buildings closed in. Cameras vanished. Streetlights thinned until the only light came from distant towers. The arrow pulled on him. Ahead, a manhole sat flush with the concrete. Clean metal. Centered. The arrow snapped to it like a decision. Tom slowed. He stared at the cover. A soft pulse ticked at the base of his skull. The arrow jittered harder, then steadied, insistent. Tom crouched before he fully decided to. His fingers touched the metal. Cold. His overlay flashed, signal degrading. Tom froze. The arrow blinked, then came back. Blinked again, then a close, low voice.
Don't look around, just lift it.
Tom's hands went still. He should have stepped back. He didn't. He gripped the rim and pulled. It opened with barely a sound, like it had been waiting for him. Dark air rose from below. Another voice, urgent, almost a whisper.
If you hesitate, it'll send an alert.
Something pressed briefly at the base of his skull. Small, cold, improvised. A sharp jolt. His vision split. The arrow fractured into two, then three competing directions. UI elements stuttered, searching for alignment and failing. The world went slightly wrong, like a signal arriving late.
Now!
Hands caught his shoulders, steady, controlled, not dragging, redirecting. A hood dropped over his head, coarse mesh, damp. Tom didn't fight. He didn't even think to. His body obeyed the nearest instruction. He was guided down. Metal scraped above as the cover slid back into place. Steps. Concrete. Turning. Lower. The constant pressure at the back of his mind loosened. Not gone, but weakened. Sound returned first. Voices overlapping. Uneven breathing. Someone coughing without restraint. A quiet argument. The hood lifted. Tom's vision reformed. A tunnel opened around him, old infrastructure reinforced with scavenged panels and hanging lights. Cables ran openly along the ceiling. Water dripped somewhere unseen. 10 people, maybe fewer. No uniforms, no symmetry. They stood too close together, watching him carefully. Real faces, tired faces. A man stepped forward, gray beard, face streaked with grime.
Easy. Relax.
Tom swayed. Every sound, thought, and feeling arrived at once.
We're down here because up there doesn't have a place for us. Some of us have been down here months, some years. Long enough to forget what the city sounds like. You try to leave, you get collected, so we go down. The scrambler messes with your link. Can't keep it on long, they'll trace it if we do. Mara showed us how to use it.
He took a deep breath.
Before they caught her.
No ceremony followed the words, just acceptance. Along one wall, flowers grew from shallow trays of soil, crooked stems reaching toward weak bulbs. Real color in a place that shouldn't have allowed it. Beside the flowers sat a girl, 12, maybe 14. A faded summer dress patterned with tiny yellow shapes hung loosely from her shoulders. One side of her skull was gone above the ear, replaced by thin plating and scar tissue that pulled her smile slightly sideways. In her lap rested a marionette doll. Its head had been crudely repaired, one side carved away to match her own injury. She adjusted the doll's dress carefully when she noticed Tom staring.
Mara brought me down here.
Her voice was light, almost proud. She lifted the doll.
We look the same.
Tom didn't speak. The man beside him spoke instead.
They keep people like her for testing. Not to save them, to see what failed.
Tom's eyes went to the doll's head.
They cut into them to learn.
They say I've got a few days. My link port's infected. It's spreading.
She said it matter-of-factly, like reporting the weather, then looked back at him.
It's nicer down here.
Around them, voices overlapped. A quiet argument. Someone crying openly. A laugh that broke the tension for a second. Nothing synchronized. Nothing corrected. The man watched Tom carefully.
You worked there.
Not accusation, recognition.
You know what they call us? Link deformities.
Tom's gaze drifted to the girl's head again. Procedures without consent, tolerance thresholds, selective removals, stability projections, his work. The realization landed quietly. The man spoke again, softer now.
You hear about Haven?
The word landed heavier than the scrambler. Across the tunnel, someone turned a dial. A battered television flickered to life, screen cracked, casing patched with tape, static rolled. The image struggled to hold. Low-angle footage appeared, streamers hanging into frame. A basement, Elena against a wall. Tom froze. The sound warped, voices shouting somewhere above the microphone. A man in a clean vest moved through the frame fast, heading for the stairs. The camera jolted, then the picture shook violently. White filled the screen, then static swallowed it again. The TV clicked back to noise.
They publicly called it an accident. Your wife didn't make it out.
Tom's knees nearly gave. The tunnel tilted.
Elena.
The name arrived whole for one impossible second, like the world had slipped half a second out of sync. Then it was gone again, but the pain stayed. The girl watched him closely.
You look like you forgot something important.
She smiled. She set the marionette beside the flowers. Tom's breathing hitched. The man's eyes fixed on the scrambler attached behind Tom's head. It gave off a faint mechanical chirp, small, but unmistakable.
The scrambler, it's burning out.
Hands touched Tom, quick, practiced, not comfort, placement. Someone brushed grit from his coat. Another crouched, thumb braced at his heel and pressed. A final firm push sent him upward.
Hurry, go.
Above them, somewhere impossibly far away, the city continued in perfect rhythm. Up there, mistakes were not tolerated. Down here, they were forgiven. Nothing here was optimized. For the first time since waking, Tom understood what perfection cost.